I'm Asian and my character is Asian, and I don't want a white man in the writer's room writing an Asian character for me. Uh, Karen, I don't know if you know this, but the creator of The Boys is a white male. Season 3 of The Boys was a massive downgrade, but you cannot tell Karen Fukuhara that. Just a couple days ago, you couldn't tell Jensen Ackles that because he was saying that pretty much the writers' room, all they do is watch CNN and Fox, and that's how they come up with these, these characterizations of these characters, aka Homelander. Don't believe me? A quick Google search would do you some good. Karen Fukuhara. It's funny that her name's Karen. She comes out and says pretty much the same thing, and says that she likes the fact that it's not all white men in the writing room, so that she can, quote unquote, avoid stereotypes. Guys, you cannot make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. These actors are going to continue to do things like this. They're going to continue to bring up these situations, bring up the fact that, oh, our writing room is so diverse. I don't know what is going on in the world right now when it comes to entertainment, but people love to mention race, gender, and sexuality. So when Karen sat down with Discussing Film in this interview, this is what she says, and I'm going to highlight for us. So they asked, finally last year you did an interview with InStyle where you talked about how you were originally worried about playing Kimiko because you didn't want her to come off as stereotypical and one-dimensional. Before I even get to the actual question, I want to say this. You are an actress. You know what you're getting into before you even take the position, before you even take the role. You have to read the script. You have to know what this character is about. So the fact that you take this role and you're contracted to just act. Now I get that you want to put in your little isms in there. A lot of actors and actresses do that. That's just a part of the industry. I get it. That's a part of the art. But when you go full on, I'm tired of seeing this everywhere now, where these actors and actresses feel like they have to have some say into where the character goes. They know more about the character than the writer. They know more. Now, maybe sometimes they might have a little more continuity than the director would. But when it comes to the writer, the creators of these characters, fam, leave it to them. But that's the one thing that this generation of actors and actresses don't do. They say, oh, I've been playing this character for 8 weeks. You know what I want? I want them to be gay. You want to know why? Because there's so many gay children out there that need to be seen on screen. Huh? I'm Asian, and my character is Asian, and I don't want a white man in the writer's room writing an Asian character for me. Karen, I don't know if you know this, but the creator of The Boys is a white male. I don't know if he's straight. You never know nowadays. But from the looks of it, he is a white male. So, Discussing Phil goes on to ask this question. How do you feel she's grown in The Boys Season 3, specifically with her being given a lot more attention and depth? She says, yes, I 100% think that Crip is the main reason for Kimiko having any kind of depth, dimension, or color. He made it a point to do that for her. He said in an interview after Season 1 was released that he realized he needed to do that in the upcoming season so that we don't fall under those tropes. And what kind of tropes are those, Karen? You mean the trope of that she's a side character? Or that she's not the main character of the story? You mean those kind of quote-unquote tropes? And he's done exactly that. Like, who else got the musical number? But not only that, she's also given a backstory that is heartbreaking. That backstory is what fuels all of the things that she does. She's not just this one-dimensional killer that goes on a killing spree. She has all the reasons to be where she is and do what she does. It's really cool that our writer's room is really diverse. And this is where I insert the heavy sigh. I spoke with one of the writers, and they were saying, we do that so that the actors have real life stories and real experiences they can pull from. Which, again, is not a terrible thing. I just want to say that. There's a lot of movies and shows and stuff out there where actors and actresses have to pull from real life experiences. But here's the part that I have the real problem with right here. And let me go ahead and... You can't have an all-white male writer's room and expect to come up with a layered Asian female character. You just can't. And instead of caping for quote-unquote diversity because of color and race and whatever, how about you hire diversity? You ask for diversity of thought. And yeah, I'll even say diversity of experience, depending on what kind of story you're trying to tell. But all of that creates a better story. All of that will create a better character background, better character development, rather than, oh yeah, we have this black girl here, and we need a black person to give us their experience on black people and how a black person would act in this particular role. Or how about you just go off of the creator or the creators of the show or a comic book. Or you go off of somebody that actually has some experience in whatever it is you're wanting that character to show, to portray. But like I said, season 3 was a massive downgrade. It's only been going downhill from season 2 anyway. Now, I'm not saying the show was terrible, but if you guys saw that ending scene of season 3, it's probably going to get that way here in next season. I really am not looking forward to season 4. And if you think that season 4 is going to be bad, wait until that Gen V show that they got coming out. That spinoff. All of this diverse conversation and we don't want white people in our writer's room. We don't want all white people in our writer's room or whatever the fuck. All of that is a conversation only because of the Writers Guild. Only because, and now in movies, because the Oscars has come out with their requirements on being nominated now. The optics of all these film festivals and award ceremonies and all that stuff. But I want to let you guys know that it will cost these shows viewership. It will cost these streaming networks viewership and subscriptions. It will cost these movies box office numbers. So this is the last thing I'm going to say about this situation. Because it's just another actress coming out here saying that she doesn't want all white males in a writing room writing a character for her. Well, if that's the case, you can go back on the streets. Because if it weren't for Garth Ennis, a white male, sitting in a writing room, creating this comic for you, to even have a job. And at the end of the day, Kimiko is not the main character of the show. They made her one of the main characters of the show, but again, she doesn't have too much depth. She's a mute character, fam. She can't talk. The only time she does talk in the show is when she's singing a musical. Which, again, was part of the reason why season 3 was a massive downgrade. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because the way I look at it, she's not even like what powers does she have left? I think she lost her powers in season 3 anyway. Now all she is Frenchie's waifu. Well, one could say she's always been Frenchie's waifu. But that's a whole nother rabbit hole as well. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm overreacting. Let me know in the comments. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm just tired of these actors and coming out here and saying that, they don't want white people in their shit. And half the people saying it are white. Like, that's another thing I just don't understand. Anyways, man, let me know. It's your boy Corn, and I am OUT.
Me and all my Asian girlfriends, we get together and we just joke about dicks. That's what we do when we get together. We talk about dicks.